What up, Toku fans? I am officially back from another video reviewing episode 6 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Weekly Show, which is the episode of Food Fight. I didn't point this out last time. I'll get to that in a bit, actually. About the monster of the previous episode, different drum. But again, I'll get into that in a bit. So yeah, this is quite an interesting episode of Power Rangers. I don't even really repeat this again in later episodes. Again, put around a bit. So another episode's come out, Green Reveal Part 2. So hopefully I'll be able to catch up before Part 3 comes out. I still have plenty of time, but Part 3 probably releases later today. So, yeah, that's why I'm catching up today. Still got a lot of episodes left to go though. Jesus Christ. So I won't be able to catch up on the usual reviews today. Damn, how you doing tomorrow? So yeah, on my own channel, I'll start with videos from manga-based videos. I'll start with stuff from other magazines like Shonen Sunday and Shonen Magazine. So finish up catching up on Yaiba first, then go and watch Gachikuta episode 1. Because I'm curious to see that. Yeah. I really am curious to see how this is going to go. Anyway, without delay, let's get into the episode. So the episode opens up the Gym and Juice Bar, where the entire school, everyone from the school, is doing a special food charity event for a new playground and stuff, I think. Mr. Captain makes his second appearance, but the rest of the work they're doing. This episode actually starts that gag I briefly mentioned in his first appearance in the episode Teamwork. And likewise, this is his first appearance outside of school. This kind of becomes a recurring character. I think he reappears in the next few seasons. I really don't remember. I didn't really watch seasons 2 and 3. I watched all of season 1. Yeah. Again, I think I'll mention more about that when I eventually review all of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers alongside Super Sentai. I also want to watch all the Super Sentai that go Ranger up to Turbo Ranger. Not Turbo, up to Jetman. Jetman! Also watch some Mel Hill shows as well. I want to watch a lot of Tokusatsu. Including stuff that should, even other Shotaro Ishinomori Tokusatsu series that even were based on his mangas. Like Android Kakaida or Children 1, I think it's called. Get my point. Also based on his mangas, got Toku adaptations. Well, Super Tetsuko also had that type of thing with one of his mangas. Ambassador Magma, produced by Pete Productions, which actually got an English dub. In which there actually are English dubs of Super Sentai. Kind of. There only been like 3 total seasons that were dubbed. First time was the first 2 seasons, Mitsu Sentai Go Ranger and Jack Dengi Tai did receive an official English dub for the Philippines. But the Jack dub is mostly lost. We can only find clips of the Go Ranger dub. Just enough. Supposedly Jack was the first one to be dubbed and aired first. Then Go Ranger. Then the movie console well. Yes, that third one we dubbed. Well, was actually the Kagaku Sentai Dynaman. But that one was more of a unique one, because that was more of a parody dub. Yeah, I think YouTuber SA did a videos talk about these dubs. I don't know the difference between Power Rangers and G Ranger. You know, what Power Rangers changed, what the original context for the footage is in a Sentai. I recommend checking out Mr. Fusion's videos on those, titled Mighty Morphin G Rangers. I recommend checking out more the episode 1s, because he did do one prior, but not exactly like he was. You'll just find out. Again, I recommend you check those out if you're interested in learning the different, what was changed, what different contents it was in the footage they use. So the food this food event is from different countries. Trini is running Asian people with help from Billy. Again, I initially thought the two had a type of thing going on, as this episode and the previous and the fourth episode featured both of those two together. So I always assume those two, had a thing for each other. Surprisingly, they never went on that. Maybe they would have. Most likely they did plan to, but had to drop it due to some things that happened in season 2, which, if you know, you know, but I don't want to get into that review season 2 someday. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to do a video short on this channel about some news. So I'm just putting it here. So, the new Kamen Rider Kamen Rider Bishop been revealed. Well, look at the suit and I really don't like it. I just don't like it. As long as Ichigo inspired, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just, I don't like it. Just how it's designed. And also, why is the belt more like a sash now? The belt's always been a big part of Kamen Rider since 1971. It's always been a belt. They're really changing up things, but just doesn't feel like Kamen Rider in design. Design just doesn't really scream Kamen Rider for me. So he's like a Kamen Rider inspired hero. A tokusatsu character inspired by Kamen Rider. That's just my opinion. You can look, it's a bit, Bandai Namco officially released the trailer. You can actually, it's also available on the Toy Tokusatsu channel, which is a channel dedicated to, was dedicated to bringing visual translations of global toy shows, but stopped. Yeah, I don't know why. There were good ways to officially introduce the world to love all the tokusatsu shows outside of Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. Even a Going on there. Kind of a shame they stopped that. And interesting more news, Kamen Rider will not just be airing in Japan. It will be streaming in other countries. No, there's no information about a UK release. So most likely for this season it won't be released here, so whatever streaming service is going to be on, I may have to use a VPN instead of using the usual sites I use for my reviews on Kamen Rider. So, but if this idea proves a success, they can actually focus on expanding the market a lot more for the next season and late next year. If this is a success, which I am hoping to be, because I do like Kamen Rider. I really hope, despite my thoughts on the suit, I really hope the season's going to be good. Season's more of a spiping season, maybe. I don't know. And it was just teaser, just real, just the other day. And probably won't be getting more information for the next couple of weeks. Till, as we approach the finale of Gav. As the series is wrapping up soon. I'm really sad to see Gav go. I really enjoyed that season. But once we get a trailer, we should be seeing official henshin. Should be seeing the character in action in the upcoming Gav movie. They just always show up for some reason in those movies. Yeah, they never explain why they're there in the first place. The rare time they did was with Kamen Rider Build.
You alright?
What was I saying before I was interrupted? Anyway, as I said, we will probably seeing Zex in action. Don't know if it's going to be a henshin or not. Since all previous cameos up until the Gotcha movie last year, where we just seen him appear in suit. They already cast that ever. Shonen was the first ever Kamen Rider, was the first one Kamen Rider, next season Kamen Rider actually had a henshin sequence in the previous Riders movie. And it's not a crossover either. So it marked him the first. since he usually appear in suit, even revealing his civilian identity sometimes. Like with Forze. Alright, sorry. I just get back to the episode. For the topic. Also want mention my real and dress up darling that my dress up darling about how the video was great but I went on too long. And I do agree, I don't mean for them to be long. It just happens. I don't know what happened here. Look at this. I'm not trying to swear, I don't even know. Look. I don't even know how I got this mark on my finger. It doesn't hurt much or anything. Anyway. And this episode was really more noticeable than the lip syncing. Something you probably notice when you're older. As you know, since Beta Purge is all Jap dubbed over from Jew Ranger, as her Sentai name is Bandora, who was portrayed by the late Machika Soga, who passed away in 2006. The final appearance in Tokusatsu was in episode Mahou Sentai Major Ranger. Was it towards the end of Major Ranger, I think. I've seen the Sentai, so I can't really say much about that. In my experience is I've been watching the Power Ranger seasons burst. I may do reviews on Go Kaija, Go Busters, and Kyoja. You know, I may do reviews on that. But for fun, you know, I just wanted to talk about them again. See my opinions changed now. I'm keeping the originals up. I just want to talk about them again. Like I plan to do the Kingdom Hearts games. I just want to talk about them again. Anyway. Rita is weighing and seeing the whole thing. It makes her have a headache. Well, not really a headache. Makes her feel ill. Anyway, Boku School end up starting a food fight. And this is where our first gag of Mr. Kaplan having a wig. And you see this is a running gag for this character. Whenever he appears and Boku School calls it shenanigan, causing his wig to fall off. It's a running gag you see from the series and it's not really that funny to me. It's common, but it's not really that funny. At least to me. Probably funny to nice kids. Understand that. I get it from a nice perspective. I understand that. Because again, it was made for that specific audience and apparently it's just changed with the times over the years. What do you think about it? Saban's only good seasons of Power Rangers. Should I say Neo Saban? Well, it's Dino Charge and Ninja Steel. Dino Charge being way bad and Ninja Steel in a lot of ways. Spinelli was a little fucked. Causing many contractions in time, like willingly messing with the timeline to change everything. Except, you know, instead of coming back to the instead of coming back farther in time to stop Sledge before even all the events of the series even take place. What it makes sense is to actually make sure is actually destroy Sledge. Is actually make sure Sledge is destroyed with all the power of the Dark Energy Gems awakened. You know what I mean? That way, if they want to create, they want to use it, they should do it on a habitable planet, like in the destined system. You get what I mean? I make more sense. That's just me. Let's talk about that. I mean, Mr. Kaplan is pissed off by the whole situation after this food fight messes over. Even taking his anger on the Rangers as well, even though they wasn't their fault, and they did try to stop it. He wants and just basically tasked them to clean this up. Not Broken Skull. Literally the ones who started this in the first place. Yeah, one ass. I don't say he's mad, but shouldn't he tell Broken Skull to clean up as well since it's their fault? I'm just saying, it just makes him a really bad teacher. Even when he says something later on, I'll get that. Anyway, read the scene is. Sorry. And when Rita sees this, she gets an idea. Rita asks Spencer to use create a pudgy pig. Something he already had. He says it's not his best work, but we don't get information on that. Now that's annoying. Even probably when I was seeing the theatres yesterday. I went to the cinemas yesterday to see Jurassic World Rebirth. My opinions, it's an alright film. I didn't love it, didn't hate it though. Because I didn't like one of the characters, I just didn't care about them. Or even the family, they just felt disconnected too. The plot just felt disconnected when we just found mercenaries. I just think it should be like an Atlantis situation or something. Of a normal guy in a group of mercenaries. And mercenaries that actually are good people escape. You could make it something like the Resident Evil in the trope from the original Resident Evil film, which was a pre or two. Get my point. Sorry. Topic. So anyway, she tells Spencer to summon a pig. He reluctantly does it. And well, we get to see the original footage of it. No, we don't know. In the now, I don't know the concepts in the Sentai, but this is not the first time we see a monster in Power Rangers with original footage, original monster footage in season 1. This is technically the second time, but it's the first to have the most original footage. Barely any Sentai footage. Only uses Sentai footage for 2 battles. That's it. Yeah, he only uses Sentai footage twice. Not at all. So it's the first to use a lot more original footage than the previous monster in the last episode and stuff, which was the first to use original footage for it. And we shall see that again in later seasons. Later episodes of the season. So yeah. And you saw the pig causes trouble. There's almost the Rangers to tell about the situation. It was set up to fight it after Morphin. And I think it's the first time the Power Rangers being not played during their morph. And there's a reason for that. I don't mean when they morph all together, by the way, not separately. So the Rangers do their best to fight against the monster. But the pig ends up swallowing the weapons. This is weird seeing a truly touching their helmet and ready to get them or something. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that it's a Sentai counterpart boy. It's saying something about the face. Saying the face is the weakness or something? I don't know. I really don't know. But it's one of the oddest choices that Sentai footage is used. I guess when that's how I mean. It's this low odd thing to do. If you actually have any context for that scene, let me know in the comments down below. Because again, never seen G-Ranger and stuff. I'll be watching it for the first time when I can. Sorry. The pig ends up using some sort of technique attack, and he ends up being flown somewhere and demorph. So this woman falls in that the pig found their way to the human juice bar and stuff. Also reaches the earth and it causes mayhem, eating everyone in sight. The Rangers have to stop it, otherwise the whole supply of food will be gone. The world's supply of food will be gone in 48 hours, 2 days. So yeah, the Rangers were too late. But that's when Trini ends up noticing that a pig didn't eat any of the spicy food. So Billy comes with the idea to use that against the pig. So he managed to take the spicy food, and Zora tells him to morph. They do it again, this time the beans aren't playing. As they use the root against the pig. And especially let's end up coughing up their weapons. And Mouse in the finish it off with like a blind attack. Like blast and stuff. Actually saw the G-Ranger version a bit the other day when comparing it to the Japanese dub of Mighty Morphin. Yeah, Power Rangers was dubbed into Japanese. Makes it very weird. Even more weird for Japanese kids who were around in 2005. Why? Well, look at this. If you look at shows like Power Rangers SPD. This is a series I grew up with and stuff, which is 20 years old this year, and we even say in the year it's set in. This Power was set like it was released in the 90s and stuff, but this is set. It was released in 2005. How can pins change in 20 fucking years? Inspector Bujiro was smart with his choice back in 1985, because 2050 seemed like a distant future. So it makes sense that they felt the future would be like that, even though it didn't occur. So just set like 2055 or something. 50 years and stuff. But anyway, the Japanese dub. Sorry. The Japanese dub actually used the Deca Ranger cast for the SPD Rangers, which is weird. Especially when you compare the Sentai footage used in SPD with the Deca Ranger voices. Ben Power Rangers SPD's Japanese dub with Tokusatsu Sentai Deca Rangers actual footage, the original colors and stuff. Sounds like, by the way, when Deca Rangers say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and stuff for their vocal, it sounds like saying, do. Sounds like saying it in the languages that each, ni, san, stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah. This is the first episode not to feature a Megazord Bow. Even if this episode teamwork did end, even if the episode that featured the power crystals and stuff, the episode that featured a Minotaur was to be the end. Was to be before after Megazord Bow and stuff, but that was technically swapped around footage. So most of these are reason they couldn't use any Megazord footage for this episode. I'll say how we check out Mr. Peter's videos a lot more recently soon, just to get more context on that one. So yeah, now the Rangers done the events to a mess. The charity events ruined. But Alpha comes in to save, as he's been able to help him out today. But because the whole thing couldn't have a chance. So it says a booty makeover. And the captain shows up. He doesn't say, look, I know he says, look, I know it wasn't your fault. He doesn't even yes, he says that doesn't really count as an apology though. He never says, I'm sorry for blaming you. Like, he's the worst teacher I've ever seen. It is anger issues. But he shouldn't punish Broken Skull. It was their fault. The fuck kind of teacher is he? So yeah. So they end up getting the last batch of money they need for the charity event. And Mr. Garland ends up paying $20 for a snack. Even though then eats a spicy one. And the episode ends with all the Morphin. Now this episode's Mighty Morphin Minute is about Rita. And something that bugs me. It says that as she tries to get the power of the Power as me over and over again, she tries to steal the Rangers' powers, which is not true. At least for season 1. You get my point? She never once tried to steal them. She technically tried with other character, but again, that's a spoiler if you've not seen the series. Of course you didn't see it by now. It's been around since 1993. But you get my point. But you get my bright point. So, yeah, it just bugs me that they said that. And something similar was said in Beast Movers 2 by Mayor Daniels. We just never try to steal the Rangers' powers at all. It was that one time, but again, that's not very much. It was a one-off. It was just one-off episode. Well, it was two-part, but you get my point. It's a one-off plan, so it doesn't count. You guys have been doing season 3, haven't you? So you said you're gonna do it. So I'm just saying, it's just kind of a weird choice. Seeing that, it just bugs me. It's like you've never seen the character. But she might try to do that in later episodes. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. But anyway, if you guys watching, enjoy my content, please up and want to see more, subscribe to the channel. Always go to the channel. And I'll see you guys for episodes 7 through 18, hopefully. Sayonara.